makes me think of
He
is
knew
like
his whole family was committed to
Having
what-
come to faith later in life, our first pastor,
Father actually played a really big role
he
through high
wasn't
school
trying to
with
like
me.
put his best foot forward or show like this perfected self-image.
A question that's been coming to mind is how has, and maybe you haven't thought a lot about this, maybe you have. I think us as guys, each of us here, we're dads, right? And so how has becoming a dad or being a dad, how has that maybe changed the way that you engage with the Lord, thinking of Him in that way?
you know, fatherhood is just like putting a giant mirror in front of you, and everything that we do is amplified in our kids. And so when you see them doing the things that you're like, why are you doing that? And then the first thought that comes to my mind is, well, it's because I do that, you know? And
so many, I think, just incredible examples of how God uses fatherhood to really teach you so much more about Him. I mean, if you held a crying baby or worked with a 1 or 2 year old and you see them, you know, just fighting you in any way, whether it's fighting to fall asleep and you're just trying to rock, you know, your little child. I think the idea is, you know, as their dad and as their father, what they need, and you at times you feel like, if you would just allow me to just rock you to sleep, and if you would just fight this urge, and if you would just take this bottle. I think there's so much truth there too, that we fight a lot of what God wants to teach us at times. And again, I think there's such a brilliant truth there about when you are working with your kids and recognizing, just listen to me, I have these answers for you. And then you think to yourself, wait, is this what I'm doing? Am I fighting God in the same way?
I think it was a moment with my son where like he was trying something and the words that came out of my mouth were like, don't worry about messing up. Like you're trying to learn something new. And it was almost like God just took that and put it right back around on me. And it's like, that's how I feel. I was thinking about just how often I'm trying to or I'm assuming that God is going to be disappointed in my effort. Like when I try and I fail, like He's gonna look at me with this disappointment, like I should have done better, or I should have, gotten it right the first time. And then I thought about how that I am with my kids, and it's like, it's the opposite. It's actually like, no, like try and fail. Like I know you're trying, like, and I don't fault you for the ways that you fall short. It's like, it's right there,
I remember my first, having your first, and it was a son, thinking of Abraham and Isaac and what he had to do, and then thinking of God and Jesus and giving His only son. And then you have your own and you're staring at them and you're just thinking, wow, for me, it makes His sacrifice of His son so much more meaningful.
So there was a day when I was feeding my baby girl. She's a year, and I'm in this lazy boy chair, and I just kind of space out. I'm tired. I'm looking out the window, and I've got my arm on the armrest, and then all of a sudden I kind of wake up to the moment, and I see that my daughter has her arm right on top of my arm, looking at the exact same place out the window that I am, and it just wrecked me. And I realized, you're gonna do exactly what I do. You're gonna look exactly where I look. And so I wanna look towards Jesus, so that, and so it just made me hunger and desire to just fix my eyes on Jesus.
I think the one thing that stands out to me most probably in being a dad is the unconditional love that I feel for both of my kids, right? And equally, it's mysterious. It's incredible that you have truly an unconditional love, and I think that's God's way of showing His love to us. And it's definitely one that'll make you sit and think a lot. But there's no doubt that unconditional love is the thing that stands out the most to me about being a dad.